Hello, this is TDG here, coach of the UMass Minutemantine, and I'm going to be bringing you our week 3 game against Hank. He coaches, I don't know what he actually coaches, but I think it's the Columbus Crow at SC or something like that. And he has a rain team. It's subpar, honestly, but you know, whatever. Anyways, I brought like Semestol, I brought like a Heat Wave, Toxic Roost, Zapdos, a Flame Charge Stone Edge, Soft Boiled, Toxic Mew, like a Heal Bow, Recover, Psychic, Stealth Rock, Selby, Defog, Toxic Rest, Scald, or actually it was Surf, Empoleon. Chansey had Soft Boiled, um, Seismic Toss, Toxic. Actually, I had Wish, Protect, Seismic Toss, Toxic. So I had Stall for this 5 months. Then I did have one offensive mon, a Sweeper, a Kamao, which had D-Dance plus Combat, Z Poison Jab, and Sub for, if Pharaoh tries to get Brox, I could try to sweep his team. But it was mainly the idea was Semestall. Thundy was a big threat. I had to have I had Culvers on both me and Celebi for it. I had a walk on Poyon for it, and made sure that it would get into torrent range and be able to OKO Thundy, because I actually changed some stuff up a lot, and I eventually had to, I realized that Thundy was going to be a problem because it would be running Thunder, probably not T-Bolt. Zapdos had like a Sash, so if he didn't try to get the rocks, he was, it was kind of a win-win, because if he tried to get rocks, I had Kamao, and that would be able to, beat and set up on Fairthorn. But if he didn't try, I would have that Sash Aptos in the back for Thundy as well, with Tailwind ready to go. So that was part of the idea. I had ways to deal with the Thundy, even though I had a relatively passive squad. And yeah, it basically could just wear down his team. His team does not have a lot of recovery. And to me, I thought I have walls to a lot of his mons, like Kingdra with Empoleon and stuff like that. Toxic could just wear down his team. He didn't have a poison type, so like Klefki and Fairthorn were both the things that would be immune to Toxic, and they share a little bit of weaknesses. So I was like, all right, I can work with that. That's what I was thinking going into this matchup. So, anyways, I'm going to lead Celebi here. And my reason for leading Celebi was pretty much, I didn't really even have that much, but it was like Kingdra is not really a lead. I mean, I could see Pelipper being a lead. I can get up my rocks on Pelipper. Or I could switch out. It didn't really matter what I lead. I have switch-ins to everything. Celebi can kind of deal with Dundee, I guess. It can get some damage on it. It can. I didn't really have much of a reason, honestly, to lead Celebi. I just didn't really understand. I didn't think there was a particularly good lead. Because I have switch-ins to my Chow, I have switch-ins to all these offensive threats. So I was like, I don't really care what I lead. I have a switch into every single mon. I'm just going to lead with my rocker, because I think might as well. If he goes Klefki, that's, I get my rocks up. I have a Defogger, and it has rest, so Klefki can't 1v1 it. It can set up, but all right, I'm fine with it setting up. So here we go. I go into Celebi, right? He goes into Fairthorn. So I'm like, all right. So I have my Kamao. Is it time to send it in? I'm like, all right. I could probably send it in. I have my Z Poison move. If he goes into, after he sets his rock, he tries to T-Wave me, I have that sub. If he doesn't try to T-Wave me, then he's probably going to go into like Pelipper. And if he does that, I guess I could just like D-Tense up and I could try to Z-move that. And that's at least killing his rain setter for the entirety of the game. And I think he was carrying Thunder, so I thought that was worth the trade off. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to go Kamo on the pretty obvious rocks play, as he does go for his rocks, and I'm just going to sub here because it's a free sub. He's going to go into his Pelipper. So after that, I'm just going to set up my sub. Yes, so now I'm expecting him to Hurricane. I'm just going to D-Dance up. But he actually protects here, um, which keeps my sub. I don't. Maybe he expected a Z move right there. I don't think that was a good play. I think it was pretty clear I was gonna D-Dance. I mean, if I had a Z move, maybe Dragonium Z, all right. But then that wouldn't really make sense because he has an Aromatizzy, which I personally didn't expect, but I was told that someone else expected it. So I really, because I was originally bringing Rock Slide. So I kind of no way regret bringing Poison EMZ, but so I'm gonna D-Dance, and that means so yeah, as I said, Poison EMC is gonna be able to KO, and he's actually gonna go into Klefki here, and I'm like, ooh, okay, that's rough. I actually don't like that play, but I'm gonna just close combat, expecting him to try to play rough to break myself, and I thought I was in a bad position here, but he goes for Reflect. I'm like, all right, well that just means I could set up more Dragon Dances because you probably don't really have play rough. So that's what I'm gonna do, and you know that's just the way that works because Reflect wasn't in play, so I was like, he just probably doesn't have play rough, and I'm not really afraid to get T-waved over that play. He's carrying Reflect and Light Screen. Obviously, if he's carrying Reflect, he's carrying Light Screen. I think he's running spikes. So yeah, it just makes sense. So he's gonna go into Ferrothorn there. I'm just gonna get over the D-Dance, and I can do anything I want on this thing. Ferrothorn is just setup fodder. I see that there's 3 more turns to Reflect. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait till this Reflect wears out. I can D-Dance, and he makes this really bad play going back into Klefki, because now I can kill Klefki as the Reflect's about to end, which means that he can't get off another Reflect. Because I didn't think he was like Clay, because, well, I knew he wasn't because he had lefties, which he should have been like Clay. That lefties really screwed him up because that just, and especially putting Klefki in at that moment, it just meant that he wasn't getting Reflect for the rest of the game, and now I have this +4 combo in on his team, and it outspeeds Kingdra, and it kind of nukes everything. So yeah, he's gonna go Pelipper and try to go into Thunder T because he probably has some sort of rain moves or something. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. I'm faster than you. I'm stronger than you. I just KO. Boom. So he goes into Kingdra. Thinks maybe he's not running any speed or something. I guess no. Of course I'm running speed. Of course I am. I actually don't know if I mean, I probably wasn't outspeeding. I don't think I was. I don't think I was actually outspeeding Dragon Dance Kingdra, but Swift Sim, obviously I couldn't even outspeed that unless I was like +4, which I am, because he let me get to +4. He just had setup fodder everywhere, and he just randomly clicked some stuff that I didn't understand. But I mean, his offense would have got knocked out anyways, so I can't fault him too much. I think it was just really, really weird prep. So I'm just able to knock this Manchow out. That's easy, You can't do anything. I'm still behind my sub. I don't really have to worry about anything at this point. Even if he has some sort of Pelipper that can knock me out, which he probably doesn't because he's just sacking off things at this point. I have a sub. I'm not really even afraid if he's bulky on his Pelipper. And Close Combat should knock Pelipper out based on my calcs. He actually is running some like HP investment or something. But he doesn't actually have Hurricane, apparently. So yeah, I don't I don't like that. I think the best Pelipper set is actually an offensive Pelipper. If you would have had a Hurricane, this game would have been more interesting for sure. Um, so yeah, this is the game. Um, yeah, I think there's a lot of room for improvement here. He definitely didn't prep for Kama over like thoroughly. He didn't think about Pharisee is just setup fodder, um, which is important to think about. He didn't think about making that play on Pelipper um, very well. Well, maybe his thought process was that I was going to Z move, um, or that I was going to Z move. Maybe predicting the Kingdra to come in. Uh, I just don't agree with it. The real issue is he didn't bring Hurricane on his Pelipper. He didn't think about Ferrothorn is not a reliable rocker in this matchup. Um, those are some things you could think about. Um, and thinking about my win cons instead of just your own um, is important. I think there's a lot more that he could have done. Having an attacking move on Klefki to be able to hit Kama O would have been a big plus. I don't even think he had T Wave on his Ferrothorn based on the fact that he didn't stay in to try to T Wave it. Even though maybe he did think I had sub, and that would be good on his part. But even just having the thought of having like something like T Wave, just to be able to deal with some more combo sets, if you were to predict me not to have sub, would have been nice. Because there was a high chance I wasn't going to run sub. I considered not running sub. I considered having Rock Slide and Close Combat and Poison Jab. So I think that's room for improvement. I honestly didn't expect to win this game that fast because I brought Semistal. I expected it to be a long, hard, drawn out game, and it just wasn't that. You know, I feel kind of wrong for criticizing it because it's hard to take a 6-0 loss, and I've been there myself, and it really sucks. But sometimes you have to really learn from these because there are things that you could do that you could do better. And this game is definitely one of those games. I just hope that Hank can learn from it. He could bring more coverage on his defensive Pokemon and um, just have less setup fodder, and maybe that will improve his performances. He definitely brought some setup fodder here, and what can I say? You need to have everything not be passive, like as passive as it was. I mean, my team is passive, right? I won the game. That's because I abused the passivity on this team. Um, so you could have abused. I guess you didn't know I was bringing anything passive, so that's a little bit wrong of me to say. But what I'm trying to say is, when you have two rockers and one of them is setup fodder for Kama O, you bring the other rocker, or you bring something that can deal with Kama O trying to set up on you, especially if you don't have an answer to Kama O once it is set up. And if you don't even have something like to not bringing coverage move on Klefki, being set up fodder on Pelipper, just being passive is the main issue I saw in this game. But I hope he learns from this loss and he could be able to win some future games. Um, you know, I don't really, I kind of, I've been there, been in a 6-0 loss myself. Like, I usually get 6-0s much less frequently than I give. I give 6-0s less frequently than I take them. Honestly, because it's just not my play style. This season in UPC is actually probably I've had more 6-0s here already just in the first 3 weeks than I've had in any full week for sure. But yeah, I hate them. So yeah, I can, it's probably definitely not what you'd want to hear if you're on the other side. Anything like critical, but you know, it's definitely something that could move you forward in the future. So I hope you take that into account. Just bringing answers to things like this and having coverage moves and even just powerful stabs on Pokemon that aren't supposed to be super passive. Honestly, Pelipper hits like a truck. So yeah, this is a wrap. We'll bring you here next week. See you.